from surprise strike targets to potential defensive reshuffle, or even a shock return that no one saw coming. There's a lot to unpack, so always make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get straight into it. And yeah, we are back talking about Morgan Rogers. And though this might not be the first time we are talking about it, but this time it's got a little bit more sauce on it. Once again, the Athletic Jacob Tamswell has dropped the news. Chelsea reportedly renewed their interest in the 21-year-old Aston Villa winger who has been absolutely flying under Unai Emery, especially in the second half of the season. Technically gifted, direct, brave on the ball, and let's be honest, built like a modern-day winger, but plays like an old-school baller. And look, Chelsea model under Todd Bowley and Clear League has been crystal clear. If you are young and talented and have a hit of resale value, they will at least make an inquiry. Rogers fit the bill, but so does other 50 players around Europe. The difference is that there is a genuine admiration from people at Cobham, and it's not just Chelsea sniffing around. Other top Premier League clubs are hovering too. This is why it's complicated. Unless Rogers pushes for a move, which there is zero indication at this stage, Villa won't even pick up the phone unless you start a convo with a cheeky 50 million or maybe a couple of Chelsea loanees thrown in for flavour. But stepping back, this interest aligns with Chelsea wider transfer blueprint. High selling attackers with flexibility and growth potential. You already got Kopama balling, Onimadueke looking sharp again, and Neto showing flashes of chaos. Rogers would add another dimension, but also more selection headaches. Also, this is Chelsea. 1 week it's Rogers, next week is some kid from South America with 3 futsal clips and a 50 million price tag. Can't lie, our scouting team probably watch YouTube more than me. So yeah, Morgan Rogers to Chelsea, there is a real interest, but this one is a long distance dance. Villa won't let him go without a fight, and Chelsea will need to do more than just flirt this time. Until then, it's a case to wait and see. But don't be shocked if this heats up when the summer window opens. Now, still on Aston Villa. Earlier this year, there were whispers, a very soft one, like someone leaking a transfer news through a pillow, that Aston Villa might be signing Disasi. But according to Jacob Tamswell and the Athletic, those links has gone a bit cold, like a fridge temperature cook, maybe even freezer. Let's talk Disasi time at Chelsea. It's been a roller coaster, not even one of those fun, smooth ones. We are talking full team pack madness. 1 week he's heading in a late equalizer at the bridge. Next week he's doing his best impression at a cone transition defense. It's been inconsistent to say at least. But here's the thing. Despite his shaky moment, he played a lot of minutes. He's shown leadership, he's vocal in the back three, and he looks serviceable. With Chelsea backline undergoing a bit glow up under Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca might see value in keeping him around, not as a nailed-on starter, but as a rotational option. Experience, presence, and occasional headed ball from set piece when we have run out of ideas. Also, say what you want about his defending. The man celebrates goal like he wins Champions League final. Passion merchant, we respect it. But here is where things start getting interesting. Dean Huijsen, the 20-year-old centre-back who has been turning heads at Bournemouth and his family on Chelsea's radar. Young, tall, ridiculously composed on the ball. He's basically what this new regime wants. A player that can play from the back. And if Chelsea do push in to bring Huijsen, which by the way would be a very serious statement, it starts to create a bit of a bottleneck. We have got Badiashile, Kobel, Fofana, Chalobah, and now Huijsen link. Let's be real, you can't have 6 centre-backs fighting for 2 spots, especially when most of them are under 24 and need game time to grow. So if Villa's interests are cooled, don't rule out a Disasi sale somewhere else. France, Saudi, Germany, or even a mid-table Premier League team that loves a physical presence at the back. Worst case scenario, Todd Bowley loans him to Strasbourg and we forget he exists until 2024. Wouldn't be the first time. Now, this is where things get wild. According to Football Transfer, Chelsea are exploring a sensational move to bring back Antonio Rudiger to Stamford Bridge. Yes, you heard that right. Rüdiger, the aggressive, passion fan favourite, who left for Real Madrid on a free in 2022. Let's be real. When the name Antonio Rudiger is even mentioned in Chelsea rumours, Twitter melts. Half of the fan base is crying of joy and the other half is asking, wait, is this real or someone playing career mode on vibes again? But when you actually think of it, it's not that mad. The leadership vacuum left by Thiago Silva is real. Chelsea backline is now packed with youth and potential. But who is the general? Who is the one giving orders? Throwing themselves into challenges, making attackers think twice before running at a goal. Rüdiger was that guy. And it's not like he left on a bad term with the fans. If anything, a lot of supporters were gutted to see him go. He was one of the few players who actually thrived during the chaos. Tuchel ball, sanction, ownership saga, Rüdiger was still bodying attackers. The man defends like he has personal vendetta against goal. Sometimes we weren't even sure if he liked football or just loved violence. But here is the curveball. Rüdiger is starting at Real Madrid. He's part of the core now. So lest Madrid suddenly decides to play Jude Bellingham at centre-back too, this is not exactly a cut and dry situation. But for a sec, imagine Rüdiger mentoring Levi Colwill or giving Fofana tips on how to play aggressively without seeing red. Or just existing in the dressing room reminding people that Stamford Bridge used to be scary. Also, Maresca would absolutely lose his mind with Rüdiger positioning at times. But you know what? That chaos energy might be exactly what we need. Now, let's not get carried away. These are just early whispers from football transfers, and there's nothing yet concrete. No here we go, no tapping badge pictures, just rumors that hit different. Because there is emotional weight behind it. Now, let me know in the comment section. Will you have Rüdiger back at Chelsea, or do you think we have moved past that? Another player whose future is still on the air is Trevoh Chalobah. Despite his strong performance in the latter half of the season, and despite impressing when given the chance, the club stance hasn't really changed. As per Karen Gill, Chalobah could still be sold if the right offer comes in. Now, Chalobah is one of those players who makes you feel things. Not always flashy, not always loud, but dependable. Quietly goes about his business, then boom, a goal line clearance or a crunching tackle that saves the day. Since returning from loan, the man has been solid. Not world class, not even Van Dijk reincarnated, but good. Good enough to make you wonder why we are even considering selling him. Like, I get it. Chelsea board sees Chalobah and thinks, pure profit. FFP numbers dancing in their heads like it's a stock market graph. Meanwhile, the fan base is just asking for common sense and sense of continuity. This is the reality of modern football though. Especially at Chelsea under Bowley and Clearly. Everyone is for sale. Even the Coban boys, and because Chalobah came through the academy, any fee the clubs get is counted as 100% profit under the financial fair play rules. No amortization, no tricky accounting, just straight up cash in the spreadsheet. But that also makes it so frustrating. We are talking about identity, about building a culture, and then we flirt about offloading the exact kind of players who gets what the club is about. Think of it, he's versatile, homegrown, Premier League proven. He already bought into being a squad player. He's not crying for a guaranteed start every week. He just wants to wear the badge and do his job. And he has done it well. But again, football is a business. With Chelsea looking to bring in Dean Huyton and probably eyeing another centre-back, Trevoh Chalobah could be the odd man out. Especially if a club like Nottingham Forest or Newcastle or even a sneaky European side puts 30 to 35 million pounds on the table. Would I sell him? No. But with the board, like Mourinho, I prefer not to speak. Moving on to the goalkeeper department. This might surprise a few people, but according to Kenan Gill of the Daily Mail, Chelsea are not currently in the market for a new goalkeeper. Despite the underwhelming performance from Sanchez and Jorgensen at times, the club believe they already have enough talent internally. That includes Sanchez, Filip Jorgensen, and the highly rated Penders. And Petrovic, who is expected to return from loan at Strasbourg. Now look, I know what you are thinking. No new goalkeeper? Are you watching the same games? Because let's be honest, the Chelsea goalkeeping situation this season has been unpredictable. 1 week it's clean sheet and confidence clear. Next week it's something else. Kepa already out of the door. Petrovic been on loan, doing his thing in League One. And back home we are riding the Sanchez Jorgensen emotional roller coaster. And when I say roller coaster, I mean a dodgy fairground once that feels like it would collapse at any moment. Sanchez sometimes looks like he's playing volleyball instead of football. Jorgensen, while promising, still feels like a work in progress. Great reflex, yes, but command of the box still needs improvement. Now, don't get me wrong, links like Kobel, tempting, big frame, Champions League tested, Dortmund #1, Mike Maignan. Bro is like a Marvel superhero in goalkeeping gloves. Both deals super expensive, super unrealistic. Unless someone pulls a Thibaut Courtois and disappear in July, Maresca, being a possession-based purist he is, will probably back his current goalkeepers to adapt. He might even believe Sanchez with his long passing range fits the system well. But that's optimistic, especially when half of the fan base flinches every time the ball goes near his feet. Watching Chelsea play out from the back this season felt like defusing a bomb with garden tools. Heart attack every match. Now the wild card in all this is Petrovic. Solid when he stepped up last season, not the flashiest but consistent, brave, quietly confident. There's a real chance he comes back from Strasbourg, forces his way into the #1 conversation. So yeah, as it stands, don't expect a new face in the goal this summer. And to wrap things up, Chelsea are reportedly impressed with Strasbourg striker Emanuel Emegha. According to Sebastian Nunda and JFM, the Blues already held discussion over a potential long contract. Emanuel Emegha sounds like a dream. Built like a tank, clips, and you're like, yo, this guy is a striker or a Marvel character. 4.4, aggressive in duels, stretch the pit valve. There's a lot to like, especially for a team that has been screaming out for physicality up top. Let's be honest, the last time we had a proper bully of a striker, opposition centre-backs were filing complainants to HR. Since then, we have tried everything. False 9, fast 9, single 9, double 9. But here's the thing, as exciting as Emegha is, I've got my doubts. Is he talented? Absolutely. But Chelsea don't need talents. They need a ready-made presence. A striker who is not only built for Premier League football, but one who has already lived it and backed double digits in it. Signing Emegha is like buying a sports car with no engine. Looks fast, sound exciting, but you still... Now, yes, Strasbourg being part of Bluco does make things smoother. Think of it like a private transfer tunnel from League 1 to Stamford Bridge. But just because you can sign someone easily doesn't mean you should. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for Emegha coming in. If there's another top level striker arriving too, let the kid develop, ease him in, cup games, late cameos, but if he's being groomed as a solution for next season, that's risky business. Emegha to Chelsea, it makes sense in terms of profile, age, potential, as we risk repeating history again. So that's the video here. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.